Jared, good morning, gentlemen. Great to be here, and this is going to be a little unusual probably, so I hope it encourages someone in this room. With my story, I don't do this a whole lot. I'm one of those, typical guys that are entrepreneur spirit. You put your head down and you just grind, and you isolate yourself a lot of times, not for the good, just that's what you do, what you know. And maybe Jared a year ago, he asked me for marrying a wow, and we all know it so well, so many good things have come out of it. It's been troublous. That was so awesome to have that, and there's many guys in this room this last year that have meant a lot to me. And you know who you are, I hope you do, and this room is important. So glad you're here, good to be with you. Let me start with saying this, that it's something that I think is a phrase, a line of thought that can absolutely change a person's life. And it is, do not let the fear of the finish belittle your faith to start. Do not let the fear of the finish belittle your faith to start. When you think about that, that is, many people are walking around with a calling that they're carrying, and they haven't done anything with it yet. They haven't started. They haven't started because they're working from the finish, and that's too heavy. Right? Think about that. How many of us, maybe you right in this room, right? Myself over and over again. I'm halfway in something and go, man, if I knew what it took to do what I've done right now, I would have done it. It's heavy. The other side, of the people I'm talking about a lot with the calling on their life and haven't done anything yet, they look so far to the finish, they never started. We come back to the first group of people, and while you're in the mud, the valley, the deep, the hard, you're also looking at yourself going, man, I'm a lot farther than I thought. And he certainly has done more than I could ever think, ask, or imagine. Yes? Okay, so a show of hands here. Who in this room knows deep down in your heart that you're here for a reason? For real. That you were created on purpose, for a purpose? Yes? Hands are still up? Okay. And then you, each of you, have unique gifts that are 100% unique to you. That God has asked and built you, designed you to do something with. Yes? Well, fantastic. Because a lot of people out there need us to help bring that out with them. And we all need each other to be reminded that we exist that way and we're created for that reason. Because I say another saying that has stuck with me for a long time. Life is too short not to be happy, and way too dang long not to do it right. So, the happiness is purpose. Right? It's calling. It doesn't mean self-promotion. It doesn't self-gain. I guess it could mean, and the world will tell us that, but we're in a different room and we're set apart and know that to be not the case. And too long for the things I want to share with you to do it right. There's no chance in heck that I can stand still. I'm telling you that right now. So, a little bit just about me real quick. I am a strength coach, nutritionist, and one intents to do. I don't know slow. That doesn't mean anything great. I'm just saying white. And God's designed me. Thankfully, over time, found that to be the case and stopped denying it. That I am here to help people overcome excuses, break through obstacles, and win more often. That's what I'm designed to do. So I try to be that to others. See your potential and remove the lid that keeps you from doing what you're called to do. And I stand before you here that Jared had mentioned with some unique experiences that the only reason I am sitting here is because God decided that my story wasn't going to end. I am 17 years old. I'll take you to the story. I'm on my way to the homecoming bonfire. I'm a recruited football player. I had good success in several sports. Anyway, next thing I leave the dinner table, and 2 minutes later I'm laying in the field. And I'm coming to on my knees, and I hear a voice on my right shoulder. It says, where's the body? And I'm like, a concussion, right? Still coming to, like, excuse me? And like, who is that? And it's the state trooper. Got there pretty fast, it's Marion. Very relaxed. And it happened is the state trooper station is like a mile away. And what had happened, I was run over by a semi-grain truck. And got ejected somehow, some way. All this is unexplainable. I have no idea at all. The car is luckily, I won't say that for the purpose of it, that I wasn't harnessed. Had I been, I would be dead. But I was thrown. The car was about 30, 40 yards in front of me when I come to, and the hood is in the floor. And he continues to go, where's the driver? And I said, sir, it's me. And he goes, no, you're not hearing me. It's all right, I understand you. Dazed, where is the body? Sir, I'm the only one in the car. He's like, that can't be. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sitting right here. And I swear I was the only one in there. Out the to and fro, and where I'm at, I have zero recollection. I'm then life flighted to Children's, 7 years old. You know how Marion, you're also familiar with it, I'm sure. About an hour and 10 minute drive flight to Children's. I can't imagine having my son, who's with me right now, 2 boys, Kevin 17, came this morning. The fear that would take somebody to drive that, and I think you got, your son has 20 minutes to live. So, do the helicopter ride, and get there, have internal bleeding, laceration spleen, and that was the diagnosis. I get there, gentlemen, and they're rushing around, and they just, all I can keep hearing is we can't find it. We can't find it. So, in short, because I know the time is short for number one, so we're here, that, the bleeding just stopped. They never touched me. So, unexplainable, yeah. God's hand, and I was told I could play year contact sports. Scholarships were dropped before I even got out of ICU. How the heck they know that? That's my first awakening too, that everyone's 6'3", 210, can run a 4.640. Next. But there was a humbling experience, to say the least. But a great one. And I'm like, all right. So I did fast forward 6 years. I had my first corporate job, my only job working for somebody else in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. A job that everyone would say, man, it's a dream in Tampa. Director of marketing, largest real estate and property management firm in the Southeast. But after 15 months of spending time with people who were 40 years old, I was 23. Too many things I didn't want to do. My day was relegated to the golf course, strip club, and happy hour, entertaining people that I really didn't share values in. Not that I was anything perfect or special, I just felt the prompting of God saying, you're not supposed to be here. So I left. Everyone said I was dumb, stupid, what are you doing, going throwing away? But I knew that I didn't want 6 lanes of traffic. The company car, the suit, whatever the heck that stuff means. And here's where I pause to say to the young people and anybody, where I see that happen a lot, like you gotta know what you want to do, right? You gotta have the plan. Well, I would say that preparing thoroughly is a good thing, but plan lightly. If you're gonna follow your calling, you gotta be obedient. There's a surrendering that has to happen. And while I don't understand any of the things I'm going to share with you on talk right now, I try to do that the best I possibly can without even knowing what I'm doing sometimes. So I'm sitting in that president's office and telling him I'm going to leave and thank you for the rest of the opportunity, and everyone's saying you're crazy. I really don't have it figured out at all, nothing. But what I did know, and this is my point, I think it's most valuable to know what you don't want. Life's too short not to be happy, too long not to do it right. Why am I going to waste my gifts, my talents, my calling on doing something for somebody else that doesn't align? Same thing goes with who I'm spending my time with. I mean, let's go. Today is a gift. And we've got to do the good things we can with it, with everything we've got. Wow, at the moment we've got it without being fully equipped, ever. Right? How many times you feel that way? I'm not equipped. I don't know what. Well, if you don't want to do that alone. So, but knowing what you don't want. So I took off. Where'd I go? St. Thomas. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, why not? I got as far away as I could from the concrete jungle. But what I now know and what I knew eventually, I was getting away from the noise. I had to get away somehow so I could start to get some clarity. And that's when I came to Christ. On a plywood floor, an air mattress with a hole in it. Very shortly after I got a hole that Mom sent me. Mom sent me a good one. The hole came later. I am waking up every 3 hours to fill that thing up. And I went there to start my first business. Yeah, water sports company. It sounds really good. Good job. What I did to my parents, man, I don't wish to do not do that. So, The idea was my partner was going to be the pilot. Guess what? He failed the tests. So I had to become a pilot. I was a bigger dude than I am now. I played college football. And so there's a weight restriction. I was flying an ultralight, and I knew I was going to remember this. Sorry, the slide, right? Here's the slide. You sit down, no up. Okay. See that beautiful thing? Ultralight, 36-foot wingspan. Took on and off in the water. I go about 2,500 feet between St. Thomas and St. John. It's beautiful. 2 places. One for me, one for you. You want to ride? It's good. Whew, that sucker. The danger of that was in the water, not in the air. It's tough to steer to keep the thing headed into the wind. 36-foot wingspan like a big rig. Well, here, for time's sake, I had my second fate, or near-death experience. See that like everything's looking boat, that 3-blade carbon fiber prop? It's displayed and advertised for its strength and durability by having that full power and throwing a 2x4 at it and having to spit that sucker out and not having a chip on it. Well, we've done many flights. We're working with ESPN. Check this out. It's crazy. It's 500 at that time in 1997. 500,000 copies of the in-flight magazine for American Airlines had to cover. It's the Air Parents of Paris. We were one of a kind, first to ever do it. And when I said no in Mr. Williams' office that I'm going to leave, thank you very much, he asked me what I'm going to do. I had no clue. I did hear the Holy Spirit say to me, though, and I swear to you, I didn't practice it, said I'm going to coach. And I literally look over my shoulder and go, what does that even mean? So, I didn't go to coach that, but what happened is where I ended up, as you know. As I said, what I do, I did find it. But there's turns and twists, a lot of things that we think we're not getting where we're supposed to go, but he's preparing us for where we are going to be and where he's taking us. So here I am, doing a ESPN over at Charlotte, Illinois Harbor. With a guy from Maryland, Ohio, and I'm flying to Charlotte, Illinois Harbor. I've got ESPN. So we're doing another shoot with heavy equipment, cameras. This is very weight sensitive. My smaller partner failed the test, right? I keep the beat flyer. I'm not heavier one. So we always had some difficulty for longer runways. The point is, I had to abort a takeoff. I couldn't get lift. I thought I cut the kill switch, and I apparently cut one. I again get thrown from this plane because I've been hitting this low tide, going towards the rock. Pretty good flight plane, right? Okay. Pull back. If you're getting too close to the mountain rock, abort. What's that story? Oh my goodness gracious, Canada, do not ever do this. So, and I'm flying by day, and I'm serving tables at night because I'm not using venture capital money to do anything to serve myself. Hence, the plywood floor and no door in the bathroom and the hole in my air mattress. When I abort the takeoff, I get thrown forward. There's no explanation again. For the sake of time, that 3-blade carbon fiber prop stays on and goes right over me. It goes through me. I'm in about 3 feet of water in the salt water, and I come to very much exactly like I just described the first accident. Like, what the heck? A war helmet, that life vest, radio comms, Dean's in the back, the cameraman. It had come up so close to the surface that the boat just went right up the shore. Torqued. But it hit me on the way up, and there's a few short feet between that and it hit the sand. What happened here was, guys, the 3-blade carbon fiber prop had apparently had gone through my back. 120 stitches, 90 internally, to stop before it came on my chest. I didn't know what had happened yet, and I get up, blood's around me. I just come up for my knees, and the life vest I was wearing, but I didn't know what life vest she had, but kerplunk. I had a guy thought it was my arm. Because at this point, it's just burning intense, and the burning just starts to go crazy. I'm like, what the heck? And I am terrible with blood or anything, so I'm doing this to not look. And then I remember just having to go, okay, I gotta go for this. It's still there. And then I look over and there's a chunk out of my trap. I'm like, oh, jeez, that's awful. But okay, fine. It keeps burning. I turned to Dean, because I said, Dean, you all right? He goes, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, okay, well, what's wrong with me? He does not speak for 30 hours. You've never seen a person go page white. He did not answer me that day and called me 30 hours later to apologize. Because what he'd seen, apparently, I got a little glimpse of it when I got to shore, got help. And, a reflection of one window to another in the car, I collapsed because I saw my filet mignon back. Just wide open. And what saved my life? Salt water. I'd have died. I laid on a gurney for 3 hours at St. Thomas and has horrible medical care. I do not encourage you to go there to get hurt. At all. They do a terrible job. It's a nasty looking scar. It makes for a great story, I guess. But you know what else? And then all that crap, that hard. I come back to see medical attention. Parents are freaked out. This can't be. Because guess what, guys? Not a broken bone. Didn't hit the main nerve. I got nothing. It did nothing. But tear muscle. That's impossible. Impossible. When I come home to seek medical attention, guess what? I get my meet this lady, and I tell her first date, August 30th. I'll never forget the date, it's a garage code, don't tell anybody. And that's my wife. I didn't have a date for 17 months, was on the island. Everyone goes there to party and lose themselves and get away. And here I am, I meet the girl of my dreams. And that's his mom. So the pain, the tough stuff, we comes out of that. A week to the day I returned, we're hit with a hurricane in St. Thomas. Takes out the second plane. Get to him. Okay, so God has a way of saying, you're done. Let's go. Because I'm not a quitter. But sometimes you understand that it's not quitting, it's a season. You take it. Okay, what I need you to do now, go. And then I've got to coach you. But I wanted to say to you guys, if God gave us the roadmap, right, as a blueprint, we wouldn't take that first step. He wouldn't. No naturally human thinking person would go down and go that route and see what was happening before. And just like the good word says, it lamp to our feet. It's not high beams. It just gives us enough to see to take the first step. And that's faith. I got to ask you guys, if you had it's the byproduct of faith, right? Assurance. If you had assurance that good outcome or bad, why would you need faith? Please take that with you. Why would you need it? And yes, some of the things you can say that I've done is very stupid. No natural thinking, would prove that that's going to work. But I was standing here for you today, it really has. So I got to tell you, without that assurance, do my slides, sure? Yeah. I had that little slide in front that had Project Lead Nation, Dolce Sweets, Orange Theory Fitness. I give my life to human performance, fitness, and nutrition. And then, yes, I'm going to tell you, I started a chocolate company. Makes total sense. Dolce Sweets, born in 2021, out of God's prompting, His nudge. And what I noticed in St. Thomas, I'm moving myself in the noise of being able to get away from the world and hear what He wanted to tell me. It's interesting, the mountaintops we worship Him, right? The valleys we get to know Him. And He worked on me hard. And so I had a sensitivity. I'm not saying anything special about me at all. It's the gifts that He's given me or whatever He's talking to me. And my partner, this is a partner in Ashland. We started this company, and we want to do more business, a lot of real estate. We're like, that just doesn't move the needle for us. I want to do, no offense to anybody, but real estate too. Equity is awesome. Steve's my man, and Austin Patrick. But I'm like, Mike and I were talking, and he's like, after many conversations, he says chocolate. I go, that's it. He goes, what do you mean? What's it? I go, it's chocolate. He goes, what are you talking about? I go, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I think. Who doesn't like chocolate? That's an entry point for something greater to happen. To be a light in someone's life, to share God's goodness. And you guys have ever built anything with marketing and a brand, it came quicker than anything I've ever done. Goodness created to be shared. Dolce Sweets. James 1:17, every good and perfect gift comes from above. Not your typical, ordinary, everyday chocolate company in a good way. Really good chocolate, but when you open up and the design of this is that box. When a recipient receives it, it says, you are worthy. How many times someone tell you, don't do that? You're worthy, you're valued, you're loved. But you are worthy, yes you are. And that box opened, that was the genesis of what we're talking about, that the Lord prompted us to be like, that is going to be it, that's it. People are going to know when they open it up, there's something more. Whether A, they don't know Christ, and there's something here about that, because they see the Bible verse, or B, I need a reminder, and that's a good reminder. And as a leader in this room, and anybody, you didn't get where you are without anybody else helping a lot of people. What do you give them? What says that right and well? So that was the point I'm trying to say. I understand that's what everything came together of what it was. Now, crazy as heck. This is the stuff I'm talking about. What I said at the beginning, don't let the fear of the finish build your faith to start. It's too heavy to think about the finish. I don't think about the finish. I'm just trying to say, okay, God, this is crazy. And I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm a nutritionist. Strength coach. I have no idea. You don't want to make it the chocolate. Thank goodness Mike is very good at it. He's amazing. But we bought a 100-year-old building that was, who knew, the National Latex Balloon Factory in Ashland. Walt Disney's walked these halls. I didn't know this in 2021. Now we own it. We're so close. Things are going up. Took 2 years of demo. One weekend after another. Grind. And we're building a Willy Wonka chocolate factory in Ashland. Fantastic. Wonderful experience. With the light on the hill. When you see that, you are worthy as everywhere. Goodness going to be shared. We're going to reach so many people. And it was all about listening and saying yes to something I had no idea what the heck I'm doing. And now I have that building. It's just a little fun fact, because that building was, this area is called Pump House District, completely just gone lost. But the mayor there's awesome. There's been a long campaign of trying to revitalize it. We get it for a fraction of what it probably was worth, what it looks like. But even better, the one was awesome to us. What is now is a $22 million hotel where nothing for years has been going on. That's been a lost area for 2 decades. 140 luxury apartments, the next block. The person, we should bought it for the parking. But anyway, right across the street, the parking lot just sold a month and a half ago for what we paid for the building. Okay, so amazing things. You're like, that's not on a piece of paper. That's not a plan you can think is going to happen or no. No Google sheet or spreadsheet is going to tell you these things, put the numbers together. It's serving faith. And then Project Nation store that I now just have, 6 weeks ago, took it over. April last year, I'm standing in that store, that very store that opened about 9 months before that, a year before that. Because I sold 2 of my 4 theories in West Virginia a couple years, 2 years ago almost. I thought I'm done. You know, all the stuff is hard with everything we do. I'm like, okay, good. I'm just going to be comfortable a little bit. Thank God for upright head start and come through it. And because fitness is very tough, like most businesses. I go to look at it for my partners in Morgantown with Orange Theory to say, hey, Brock, I think we found another friend, something that we want to do. And they know Trish by Jam. And because you can choose not to move, y'all, but you can't choose not to eat. So that's where it gets things going. But so I go in there to see this place, and I pretty another time very sensitive. I walk out, call my wife, and say, "Go, what happened again?" She's like, "What?" I'm like, "I think that store's going to be brought to us." I didn't know a thing about it, and I wasn't interested. I said, "No, God, what are you doing? I don't want this. I just sold it. I'm done." Boys are 17 and 13. And a year later, April 30th, this 6 weeks ago, we took it over. I did not want it to do it. Now, what we had done about 6 months prior, we went, did the dance, and said, yeah, we'll do one, we'll do it. Even if it's from home, I've had businesses in other states. I don't advise it. It is a lot of stress on me as a way. And I've had 2 boys, 17, 13. Like I said, I want to show them how maybe that's what I should do before them. Let them see what we do, because they know Dad does business with them, not in close proximity. So we're going to go that way and do something comfortable. That's my decision, my plan. He's like, heck no, boy. Yeah, God's going, no, you're going to do this one too. And at the same time, no less. So we're trying to build out the cloud to get that open, and I've got to deal with this thing. 6 weeks, the guys just did it for you. It's a whirlwind. I'm right back in the thick of it. And it sucks. It's tough. That's a lot hard. Last 6 weeks, why went from comfort? Good stuff. Working out whenever. You know, having good times. Wife and, just for freedom like we think. And I'm like, I'm going to do this again? But yeah, he is. Because you know what? At the table of that Project Nation, just like this, the center of that, we have real conversations just like the chocolate. On every label of the meal is Hebrews 12:11. The discipline is pleasing to God. They're painful. They're on harbor. Right? It produces harvest of righteousness and peace to those who are trained right. So, it keeps me coming. It keeps me going back. Keep me doing things. So, last things here. I want to share with you the 3 points to take home. How much time do we have? 5? Oh, right. 3 points. But just things that I live by that have helped me and that helped me kind of go along with the story. I kind of alluded to it earlier, but keep going forward. Put God at the center. Right? Yes, you guys all know that. But I mean not by concept or practice. Every day, daily. Renewing of the mind. This is what I'm just saying. Please hear me. I know you guys know 3 things that do definitely enlighten his life and change it. God is real. Yes. Jesus is our Lord and Savior. And the devil, that's son of a gun exists to destroy or distract. And gentlemen, distraction is the number one killer. So, if we're not putting him at the center every day, I don't know how I would do this. I don't know how I would have done it. He carried me through it all, of course. Absolutely. But what you put in front of you, no one can overcome the dominant images in the mind. Seriously, it's a battle. You gotta be on guard. You can't open social media and then boom, there's someone in a bikini, whatever, trying to shake something at you. I'm like, geez, you just got on to respond to my business thing. What the heck is this? From what people say to what you put in your body, but putting God at the center. And I love that Lamentations. Remember this guy, Lord is good to those who focus in him. The one who seeks him is right to do it daily, and multiple times a day, and realizing how fragile, frail, broken I am. And I need him because I can't fight this alone. I cannot. And certainly not if you guys know 1 Peter is the dang on truth. That sucker is there to do it. And he doesn't want you to know God. He doesn't want you especially to do anything that God's telling you to do. And if you guys are stronger than me, then that's great. But I've got to keep it at the forefront. So number one is that. Number two, fuel your body to battle. Now you know why. Nutrition. Right? What you put in your body. And let me say this. Fitness isn't everything. But it helps everything. And one of the best things you can do to deal with something that, to deal with being unhealthy is to first become as healthy as possible. I'm not even talking about the workouts. I'm talking about being intentional with how you feed your body. You're a machine. It's got a temple. It's a representation of it all. And do not tell me if you eat one clean meal that you are going to have a little bit better energy and ambition and drive to do something that you're called to do and should do. I mean, we're human, right? We're going to get cloudy, mental fatigue, doubt, fear, all those emotions too, but truly just physically feeling like, no, I can't do that. But if you're taking care of the machine, you're feeding it, fueling it, building it, you're like, I lift the heavy weights to lift the heavy crap. When life hits hard, which it's gonna, so I'm better prepared. Or else physically, if you're just drained, right, you're like, I'm done. You throw it in. That's what he wants. So I'm trying to preach you the same, but if it is picking it up, don't drop it. I hope that helps. And then number three, this is a big one. Hey, I'm talking to Tyler. Congratulations on the marriage on May 2nd. She got married since the last 5 weeks. 5 weeks, right, Tyler? That's been amazing. Been better than the dating. It feels real. I think you just said when we're walking the door. Heck yeah, it does. Fight for your marriage. Gentlemen, go first. Every day, before I get out of bed, I just still go ahead and take that extra second. Again, life is too short. And hold on. Thank the good Lord that Jesus will let her hear it, even if she's still sleeping, from her. Because listen, it's the home court advantage. If your home is cold, it's critical, it's chaotic, you may push through it for a while, but it's going to not end well. Again, just want to say about number two, just number three is as important, if not all three are. Can't do it without them all. But I got to come home to someone who is encouraging, supportive, right? Warm, welcoming. Then I can push through anything. Because I have that great partner who believes in me, yes, trusts me, and is helping me alongside me every bit of the way. And that is the other story of that Brotherly Nation to do it was Nicole was running that story. She wanted to be able to stay at home since Cameron was born 17 years ago. They said, yeah, I would like to do something within that capacity. She did a lot of things, obviously, already. It was amazing. But to see and work with her, how many of you get a chance and an opportunity in life to work with people you know and love? So, then embrace it. That is awesome and wonderful. So, guys, last thing. Again, it's worth fighting for. Stay on top of that. Make a decision today, please. I'm just giving you 3 starters. Put God at the center daily. What do you need to do today? Not tomorrow, not next month when you feel better or you have more time. What are you going to do before your head hits the pillow? Okay? Just talk about it. And it could be one of those 3 or something else. But strengthen the body, fight for your marriage, and keep God at the center. I really appreciate you guys having me here, and I want to remind you, please, do not let the fear of the finish be the leading faith to start. Start. Let God light the next thing.
People told you to pack a lunch. So yeah, we're going to turn to the tables. You guys that 15 minutes or so. We don't have